restriction. Okay, ma. Elevation of boiling point. Now, when a particular solvent, or let us take example water. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Why water boils at 100 degrees centigrade? When its vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure, that is 1 atmosphere, then water boils. So, so that is called as the boiling point. Boiling point is the temperature where the vapor pressure of that particular substance is equal to the outside atmospheric pressure. Then it is called as the boiling point. Now let us see when to the pure solvent when non-volatile solute is added. When you add the non-volatile solute, here we are observing that the vapor pressure of the solution is decreased. So, at that particular temperature, that solution containing non-volatile solute will not boil. So, what we have to do? We have to raise the temperature, because then only the vapor pressure will be increased. Then that vapor pressure should become equal to the outside atmospheric pressure. So, there is elevation in the temperature. In turn, we can say that there is elevation of boiling point. So, that's why when a non-volatile solute is added to the solvent, so the vapor pressure of the solution will be decreased. So, we have to increase the temperature so that it can attain that boiling point. So, that is called as the elevation of boiling point. Now, let us see here in this graph drawn between vapor pressure and the temperature in Kelvin. So, this is the boiling point of the pure solvent TB0. TB0 is the boiling point of pure solvent, and this one is the TB, that is the boiling point of the solution where non-volatile solute is added. You see there is an increase in the temperature. So, the boiling point of this solution, it is greater than that of the boiling point of the pure solvent. The difference of the boiling point of the solution containing non-volatile solute and the boiling point of the pure solvent, the difference is called as the elevation of boiling point, that is delta TB. So, the elevation of boiling point is directly proportional to the molal solution. It is directly proportional to the molal solution. That means delta TB is proportional to M. So now remove proportional and put a constant Kb. So Kb is called as the molal elevation constant, and it is also called as ebullioscopic constant. Now the units for this molal elevation constant, Kelvin, kilogram per mole. Now, we are actually learning these colligative properties to find out the molar mass. So, molar mass of the solute can be found out with this relation 1000 into W2, that is the weight of the solute, into the molar elevation constant divided by the elevation of boiling point into the weight of solvent. So, this is all about the elevation of boiling point. Now, the next one, depression of freezing point. What is the meaning of freezing point? Freezing point is of a substance may be defined as the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the substance in its liquid phase is equal to its vapor pressure in the solid phase. So, then the solution will freeze. So, now here when you observe here the graph that is drawn between the vapor pressure and the temperature. This is TF0, this is the freezing point of the pure solvent. So when you have added the non-volatile solute, its vapor pressure is decreased. So here it is moving this side. So there is decrease in the, here the freezing point of the solution containing the non-volatile solute. So what is TF0? It is the freezing point of pure solvent. This is the freezing point of solution. So the depression of freezing point is equal to the freezing point of the pure solvent minus the freezing point of the solution. So depression of the freezing point, here it is directly proportional to the molar solution. So delta Tf is proportional to m. So delta Tf is equal to Kf into m. M is the molality here. So Kf is equal to the freezing point depression constant or cryoscopic constant. The units are Kelvin, kilogram per mole. So the depression of freezing point is equal to the freezing point depression constant into the weight of solute into 1000 divided by the molar mass of solute. Hmm. So the fourth qualitative property is osmosis and osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is the qualitative property. I think you must have observed in your houses when the pickles were made, when we take the raw mango pieces and were kept in the salt, after few days we'll be observing that the mango pieces will be shrinked. Or wilted flowers, when they were kept in fresh water, once again they'll become fresh, that looks nice. And at the same time, the carrots, if they were shrinked, if you kept them in the water, and they are also will become fresh. So what is the phenomena that is taking place over here? Then if you observe, when these particular substances are kept in particular solutions, these are mostly are bound by some membrane of animal or vegetable origin, or will be having a membrane of the pig's bladder, or the parchment, or the synthetic cellophane, such kind of nature will be there. So then when you observe these membranes, and these membranes will be having the a network like structure, and will be having the thin sheet and having the very small pores or holes. So these membranes usually, or you can say these kind of things, will allow only the very tiny molecules like water, but not like the bigger molecules of the solute. So these kind of membranes, which will allow only the very small or minute particles through them, are called as semi-permeable membrane. So in short form, they will be called as SPM. So we have seen when we kept these mango pieces in the salt water or brine solution, and they are getting shrink, means the water is coming out of through the skin of that mango, and it is getting shrinked. So here if you observe, the solvent molecules from the lower concentration will enter into the higher concentration. Otherwise, now let us assume here in this diagram, I have taken a thistle funnel. In this one, I have taken the solution which is kept in the beaker containing solvent. So here the passage of the solvent molecules into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. So how long the solvent molecules will be moving into the solution? It is only up to a certain period where it reaches equilibrium. So this passage of the solvent molecules into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane is known as osmosis. So here the movement of the molecules from the lower concentration to the higher concentration only will be taking place. Or we can say that from the dilute solutions to the concentrated solutions, the molecules will move. And this is called as osmosis. So why this osmosis phenomenon is taking place means there is certain pressure that is acting on the surface of this solution. So the pressure that is making it actually to move the solvent molecules to pass into the solution. So that pressure is known as osmotic pressure. So the pressure that actually allow the passage of the solvent molecules through the semi-permeable membrane into the solution is called as osmotic pressure. So if you increase the osmotic pressure, we can prevent the process of osmosis. Now let us see. Because we are saying that the osmosis mainly depends upon the concentration of the solution. So here there is a relation between osmotic pressure and the molarity of the solution. So the osmotic pressure of the solution is directly proportional to molarity of solution. So osmotic pressure is represented by the letter pi. Pi is proportional to C, where C is the molarity of the solution. So pi is equal to CRT. Pi is equal to osmotic pressure. R is gas constant. T is the temperature. So molarity means number of moles in the 1 liter of the solution. So it is N2 by V into RT. N2 is number of moles of solvent. V is volume of solution. So number of moles of the solute. Here N2 is the number of moles of the solute. Number of moles of solute is equal to weight of solute by the molecular weight of the solute. So we can substitute that one here. Pi is equal to, let this be W2 by M2. Pi is equal to W2 by M2 by V and RT. So from this one we can find out the molar mass of the solute. Here the osmotic pressure mainly depends upon the concentration over here. And we can also reverse the osmosis. which is called as reverse osmosis. So if you increase the osmotic pressure, then the osmosis process can be reversed. Then that is called as reverse osmosis. Mainly in the salination of water, this reverse osmosis is used. Then now we can also get the answers why these mango pieces are shrink, that is because of osmosis. And why this the carrot which is shrinked is revived, that is also because of osmosis. Why the wilted flowers when we kept in the fresh water or again have become fresh because of osmosis. And also people when they consume the salted food usually will be observing the puffiness in their legs, especially in the elder people will be observing. That is retention of water in the body, which is called as edema. And here we can see the different kinds of the solutions like hypertonic solutions and then hypotonic solutions. Now, what are isotonic solutions? The solutions which are having the same osmotic pressure are called as isotonic solutions. Example, 0.9% mass by volume sodium chloride solution and the fluid in the blood will be having same osmotic pressure. That's why we can give the saline, that is inject through the injections, because both are suitable and it is convenient for that person who can take this one. Then the condition that is hypertonic. Suppose if the concentration here it is greater than 0.9% mass by volume sodium chloride solution is there, then what will this kind of solution is called as hypertonic solution. So when the cells, when the blood cells, when they kept in this solution having the concentration greater than 0.9% mass by volume, so what will happen? The water will flow out of the cells and it will shrink. So that condition is called as plasmolysis. Suppose if the concentration of the sodium chloride solution or the saline solution is less than 0.9% mass by volume, then it is called as hypotonic solution. So when the blood cells, then when they kept in this one, then it will, the water will flow into the blood cells and it will